So last we checked in with our buffoons of Direwood in a session where surprisingly I don't recall a single joke about it being session 69. The party
No one told
was buffooning. It was on the page. Yeah, the
No
party
one
was
told me.
buffooning around Shine Bright, taking some time to recuperate and rest after a stressful day of travel accompanied by ambushes and interrogations. After a long rest, the party took some time to reconvene with the commander and more carefully plan out their next steps, finally landing on the idea, originally presented by Doran, of recruiting the Church of the Rock to help them deal with the Queen. Light was not immediately a fan of this. He feared any aid from the Church would sort of legitimize their place in Direwood, but he was forced to relent that is, as his resources were going thin and progress needs to be made. After their planning session with the commander, the party met with Nicolian, the Pretian captain who had recently accompanied them back to Direwood to prove himself and serve Direwood in the interests of priests. Not knowing what to do with him, the party organized a friendly sparring match between Nicolian and Six, broadcasting its arrival to the entire small town of Shinebright. And a good number of people showed up. A decent crowd, in fact, including a mildly amused commander. Amassed around an impromptu fighting ring to see Nicolian actually give Six a decent fight, but eventually fall to the many headbutts of the bark-sniffing, dirt-tasting monk.
I did do that.
You did do that. Afterward, the commander suggested it may be in Direwood's best interest to pursue more help from priests, generating a stronger alliance by allowing them a military outpost in the old Cloaked Rangers headquarters. The party quickly agreed. The rest of the day, that is, Six helped the inhabitants of Shinebright hasten their construction efforts, while Doran sort of helped the cooks and reassured himself that everyone liked him, while Bess studied in her office in the manor. Alistair spent his time devising a few messages to be sent to some of his old friends, helping Light send a message along the way. The following day, after sleeping in, the party made their way to the Church of the Rock to enact their plan and perform some more in-depth reconnaissance. Doran led the charge, performing his shape-changing act to get in, greeting Savaris and making him aware of the party's arrival, then heading outside, needlessly messing with the front gate guards before ushering his friends inside. And we will pick up there as I bring you guys back to the Hysterian cult. We'll pick up there as the party enters the church, greeted by both Savaris and Malcolm.
Random question that has nothing to do with this. My glue says you're supposed to keep it from freezing. What happens when you freeze glue?
I imagine
I believe it will expand, rupture the bottle, and harden because
Like
it's exposed
soda?
to air.
Huh.
Is glue just soda?
Is it just stickier soda?
glue is just sticky soda. Anyway,
Okay, I just didn't. I was like, is there something about glue that you shouldn't freeze?
as you
I'm assuming
enter,
it would stop being sticky.
Maybe if you do it, you'll find out why.
Holden, this is now a glue interest session.
I guess so. I mean, I seem to have no control over this.
That's
Why
normal.
can't I see Holden on roll 20?
Oh,
'Cause
bye, Jason.
your eyes are closed.
Hello,
Oh,
Jason. Hi, Holden.
darn.
Hi.
Oh, hey, I can see everybody.
Hi,
As
Beth.
can I. So, if you guys are ready, as you enter the Church of the Rock, you are greeted by, for some reason Malcolm is facing the wrong way, you are greeted by Malcolm and Savaris. Malcolm nods and bows slightly as greeting, and Savaris opens his arms, says, "Welcome back, all of you. It's so good to see you. Doran, I've appreciated your letters."
And I yours. You too.
That's sweet.
Well, I'm under the assumption you're here to learn more about the church. Please come in.
Among
And
other
he
things,
gestures. Malcolm nods and steps toward the center of the room as Savaris walks you guys there as well.
do we see the guy that almost died last time?
Not here currently. The church is not very full. There are a few
Well, we are a day
regulars. There are a few regulars, but not the man that nearly died.
Can we sit anywhere we like?
Of course, please.
I am going to walk up and sit in the same place I sat last time.
You get a couple of like not dirty but quizzical looks as you step forward and kind of sit down there. But Savaris has a light smile on his face.
I go, you said anywhere I want.
Savaris
Alistair,
smiles.
and I
Towards the front.
say, did Doran just take a pew in the middle of a church? Gross.
A lot of the things he does, I wonder, and then I just know it's better not to.
Okay.
I'm gonna go mingle, and that's what I'm gonna do.
With
These two.
these two? Okay, you approach and they're both sitting silently, their heads bowed.
I
One
will
of the-
not mingle yet then.
Okay. So you kind of approach. Yeah, you approach and you. You know what? No. Okay. Then
What you
go
praying
move on.
about, girl?
Take a seat behind them, and I wait patiently and silently.
Okay. Savaris moves to stand next to Doran, and Malcolm is standing nearby as well, silently. Bess 6, what are you guys doing?
I want to look out one of the windows, so I'm gonna put myself kind of over here to look out the window
Okay.
and kind of watch over what's going on too, just in case anybody has a foot and mouth moment, or
Sure. So you're listening. You're paying
lightning
attention.
bolts are thrown. Just like keep an eye out for that sort of thing.
Okay. Your attention is a little divided then between kind of the window and listening. Could you make a perception check with disadvantage for me? And while you're doing
She's
that,
not straight roll. Fuck you, it's a straight roll.
I
Yay!
don't see. Here's the thing: rules is written. That's absolutely allowed, but I think that's not appropriate for this role. I think Doran wouldn't be sitting there watching Bess and go, "She seems kind of distracted." Boom! Like, I don't think that's how that would work, if I may.
I mean, you can.
Well, she didn't need it anyway. Or well, actually, she does. Okay. That's all I needed. 6. What are you doing?
I am minding my P's and Q's, smiling broadly, standing with my hands unthreateningly behind my back, nodding occasionally at people,
Okay,
looking at
okay.
the architecture.
Okay, so you're not joining the 3 like with Doran. You're just kind of meandering, looking around.
Indeed.
Sure.
Unless I am approached, I am simply going to look about a bit.
Okay,
Sweet little
looking about.
frog.
It is beautiful architecture. Once again, there are all kinds of stones in different stoneworks in here. It looks like an amalgamation of all sorts of different works. But it's beautiful. A little patched together, but definitely beautiful. And it's probably the most complete structure you've seen in Direwood in quite a while.
More like
Is it all
amalgamation.
stonework?
It looks quite new. Quite
Okay.
new.
And it's stone, not. There's no wood construction. It's like a stone
I mean,
church.
the pews are wood, but like as far as the actual architecture of the building, no, there's almost all stone or to some different kinds of stone. Okay. So
May I ask this? I am aware of that. There's a meld stone type spell. Does this look like real perfect, like it was done with magic, or does it appear that people have built this with hands?
you can make either an Arcana or investigation check for that.
All right. I think my investigation is the better of the two. Arcana is that, and investigation is that. Oh, they're roughly the same. All right.
Okay, we're going with investigation. With a
Maybe
23,
investigation.
kind of looking around, you casually go over to a pew and just kind of bend over, and you look like you're just kind of inspecting casually. You're not posing any threat, and you just kind of run your hand along the pew and down the stone on the floor. It's incredibly smooth. Either this was done by magical means, or by a very, very skilled craftsman, or probably multiple very skilled craftsmen. With an investigation, you're not entirely sure. It's one of those two.
Copy that.
You can make of that what you will.
Okay.
So
Copy that, Ghost Rider.
Doran sitting casually up on the lifted center area. Savaris and Malcolm stand nearby, and Savaris speaks up. So, How can I help you? What can we do for you? Is there anything you'd like to know?
I'll start with telling you something. There is a bounty on all of our heads. Not you, but my friends and I.
You're not saying this very quietly, are you?
I'm not being loud about it, but I'm trying to have a private conversation with Severus.
Okay.
Like, I'm not shouting from the hilltops, but I would
Right.
move probably a little bit closer to him, kind of scooch
Okay.
myself over.
You can definitely tell there are some eyes on you, but nobody seemed to react to that immediately. But Severus, his eyebrows kind of raised, and he's like, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, yeah, is it safe here?
It should be.
I certainly hope so.
You know I wouldn't come if I thought it would bring danger upon you.
Well, I'd like to believe that, but last time you came, you certainly brought danger.
Yes, and
Six chuckles audibly. He's not looking over in that direction, but he does chuckle.
Yeah, best paying attention. You also do hear this.
I understand that, but again, we are without him, and I mean no harm.
I know you don't.
Everyone has agreed to be on their best behavior, and worst case scenario, defend people here if something does happen.
He nods slowly. I understand. Who's put a bounty on your head?
Have you heard of the New Republic?
Of course.
The Queen there has heard that we have decided that that them as a group are more detrimental to the future of Direwood.
I see.
We believe that they are going to cause more harm than good for our people, and one of the reasons I chose to come early for your people.
Right.
Because I believe if the Queen can get rid of us, well, the Cloaked Rangers won't last much longer, and then you would be the last obstacle in her way, correct?
Not necessarily. We don't, as far as I'm aware. We sent missionaries to the New Republic with some success. Some don't come back, but most do, and most say there's very varied experiences, but our relationship with the New Republic is uneasy, but quite peaceful at the moment. I suppose... Do you believe that if they were to eliminate the Cloaked Rangers to some degree, they'd come for us?
The Queen is the most unpredictable and terrifying person I've met in that sense. She does not care for anything but her own power.
Very well.
And as a very, very well-placed and knowledgeable group among yourselves, either she'll try to get people inside here for her own benefit, or she'll eliminate what stands in her way. Because remember, we have done quests for her, we have helped her out, we have been kind to her, and then she has now decided we stand in her way.
I see. Well, that's alarming. I suppose this should be brought up with the assembly. This seems, I'm sorry, above me.
Correct. I mean not correct. I understand. One of the things that we have come here, I have come here to learn, and so have my compatriots, but also to talk on some type of alliance so that we can eliminate a common enemy if push comes to shove.
Right.
Because I would hate to see innocent people die in a crossfire that don't deserve it.
We're not much of... We have fighters, of course, but I don't know what kind of assistance we could offer you. This, again, I wish I could help you more, but...
Would Bess be overhearing this?
Yes.
At that point, I'd like to make my way over,
Sure.
and I'd like to say we are all Direwood citizens. We do have that as a common interest. And as of right now, the safety of said Direwood citizens is not guaranteed. We'd rather keep you guys all safe. We'd rather keep all of us safe rather than lose any more.
Doran, would you please roll a persuasion check with advantage with Bess's help?
I can do that.
Or you could
Sorry.
both roll separately if you really wanted.
I'll give him the advantage.
Shin.
You see Savaris
Nice.
close his eyes, bring his head down a little. He breathes in deeply and breathes out. Malcolm kind of stands there. He seems a little awkward, but he's paying very close attention. He seems very worried. Savaris opens his eyes, and he nods slowly. I'll bring this up with the assembly at once. I think this needs to be discussed. Are the four of you, or whoever, willing to speak on behalf of the Rangers?
Yes.
I will see what I can do. I should be back shortly. Just a few minutes.
Of course, take your
Take
time.
your time.
And he
Or don't take your time. Hurry.
very
hurry.
nervously, kind of not running, but like speed walking. He nervously rushes out through the front doors, and he leaves the church, leaving the four of you and the rest of everybody else in here.
I would like to glance towards Malcolm.
He dies. He chokes to death.
Finally.
I breathed in, and it's just like.
Dude, me with the chili peppers.
Yeah. You glance toward Malcolm. You can see he was looking at you, but he quickly averts his gaze and just kind of looks down.
I just go, Marcus misses you.
He nods slowly.
A message or something to send to him probably would boost his spirits.
It's no longer my. It is out of my control.
To say goodbye to a friend?
Listen, I don't know you that well, but
You know me.
I do. Six, you understand. When we found them, they were just. They're barbarian. They're rats. They're uncivilized. I've done my best, but they're still just rats. There's only so much I can do. They're rats.
I have a completely side note, but I would like to talk to you about. Could you come closer?
He gives you a shifty look. I'm fine here, thank you.
I'll come closer to you then. I kind of approach slowly. I kind of get close and go, what do you know about a giant mechanical spider?
He raises one eyebrow very high. Is this some sort of riddle?
We might have happenstance found our way into the Mages Guild. And we might have fought a giant mechanical spider.
And you won, I presume.
No, we all died in a terrible accident.
Well,
And I kind of smile at him.
that sounds quite harrowing.
No, you have no clue anything about it.
What are you asking me?
I want to know what you know about the synthetic diamonds and the spider.
How?
So the magic book that's locked away that doesn't work properly.
This is all. He kind of looks around.
Told
He
you to
lean-
come closer.
He leans in a bit closer. What have you been up to?
I just told you.
No, this is. He kind of abruptly grabs you by the arm and like beckons to Bess and to Alice. It beckons to everybody and starts like pulling you toward the front door.
I come with, laughing, kind of smirking.
I follow.
He pulls you over. Alistair, do you come with?
Oh yeah.
Okay. As he pulls you all over.
I'll follow.
Okay. He kind of like almost like group D&D group huddles you guys. You were in the labyrinth, and you fought some of the mechanisms, the safeguards, and you found the book.
Oh yeah.
What?
Big broken.
Right. What was it doing? What did it look
being
like?
Stabbed.
Sat
You
there very
tried to
menacingly for a while.
stab it?
No.
Make a deception check. No.
That was great.
This is 16. You know what? All right. Okay. He says you tried to stab it, and you go no, and you play it off as a joke really well. And he just shakes his head. Well, I want to know everything. I haven't been down there in a very, very long time.
Know that if you take those sets of armor to pieces and put them in barrels, they don't really work very well anymore.
Well, of course not. You're separating the What else did you find?
Music stops them too.
A spider.
Right, the spider. Why did you bring up the spider first?
A
I
giant
didn't
enemy
bring
spider.
up the spider. I
Oh,
wanted to.
Spider was
We want to
Six's
bring it back
favorite.
to life. We want to fix it and mechanize it and weaponize it for helping clear
That
Direwood.
is a very bad idea. Unless you have a very, very skilled practitioner of the arcane arts who probably knows the person who originally made it, or
We have you and we have the originator.
Who originally made it?
I don't know who originally made it, but I am aware of it loosely. I'm aware of most of the gods down there. You want to weapon... If you try to weaponize it, there is a very non-trivial chance that it will work, but it will be incredibly unstable
No.
and possibly turn on you at any moment.
No, here's the thing. We've beaten it once. If we don't make it stronger, in fact, we can probably weaken it. We have to kill rats to clear the city. It doesn't have to be 100% functioning. Correct?
I suppose if your main goal is to bring it into the city and just have it kill rats, then it wouldn't really matter much if it turned on you. If you activated it and got out of dodge and let it do
No.
its thing, it would
You
do
know-
quite a bit of damage.
Do you know about what the originator does from priests? What the job is?
I'm familiar with him.
If I got you to the originator with the body of this thing, do you think as together you could make it work?
Work? Yes. He looks around again. Hold on. He looks around again. Me going to priest, though, is off the table.
Why?
I belong here now.
Can I do an insight check to see if he's really believing that or if he's just saying that?
Yeah, you can make an insight check.
Found the way to get his attention.
14. I'll take you to Secret Secrets.
Bye, Bess.
Hi.
With a 14...
What's up, fucker?
What's up, bitch? With a 14, you're not able to gather a whole... He seems distressed for sure, but he's always kind of been a distressed, anxious person. When he says he belongs here now, he seems to genuinely believe it. He doesn't sound like he's trying to lie to you, but there is that usual kind of distress in his voice. And with a 14, that's kind of all you get.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I would like to cast a spell, maybe, possibly.
Okay.
Let's take a look. Hang on. I want to use my channel divinity to read his thoughts.
Okay.
It's a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. That is an 18. Does that beat your DC?
It does by one.
Okay.
Damn
By
it,
one. All right.
fucker.
Use a decent
Um,
wisdom.
Let me see if there's anything else that I can even do. Does he know that I tried to cast that?
That's a good question. Channel divinity, read thoughts. Is that literally what it's called?
Yeah.
Read thoughts. You can use it. Blah blah blah. You choose blah blah blah. The creatures to see you can't use it again until you finish the long rest. You can do blah blah blah. You can use your action and the target automatically fills against the spell. It doesn't say anything about this, so I'm going to say I'm just gonna base it on my knowledge of other spells like this. Well, here's the thing. I know that if you were to try to charm a person, it specifically says that they know afterward. Since this does not specifically say that they know, I'm gonna say no, he does not.
Okay.
All right, we'll head back then.
Yeah, I love you.
Love you.
Probably blend in pretty well in Seattle.
Okay. So you guys, all you really notice is you see Bess kind of concentrating on Malcolm for a moment, but he said he belongs here now.
And on. So, are you telling me I have to bring the originator and a giant mechanical spider corpse to the church?
If you wanted me to do something with it,
I mean, you're probably the best shot at getting it running again.
Or the originator.
I don't.
One of the two.
I don't. The originator would be good for the mechanical side. The arcane side, I don't know if he has. I don't know of his capabilities on that end. Frankly, if you were to study such magic, I'm sure Bess could do it.
Ooh.
Or I could, but I'm not the only one. This is intermediate to high level magic. It's.
You're telling me that you don't want to be allowed to be able to mess around with the mechanics of something made from the beginners of the Mages Guild.
I would love to take part in this. You'd have to bring it near the Mages Guild, or not the Mages Guild, near the church, or to the church.
Honestly, Dorn, I think he just doesn't like friends. He keeps leaving them behind.
How tight is your leash?
I'm not wearing a leash.
Not your metaphorical leash, because you can't do a lot of things. Seems as though you're kind of bound here. How tight? How far away are you allowed to go? Are you allowed to have sleepovers?
He kind of looks around and he uses his hand to like, hush! I am allowed to do as I please. But I belong here. I do not go far.
Did they tell you were allowed to do anything you want?
Nobody tells me what I am allowed to do.
But
You
they
just
tell
said that
you
they
that
did.
you belong here.
I have decided I belong here. I'm needed here.
Malcolm, you are a curious man.
What are you needed for exactly?
My services, my guidance.
I forget. Does he have a rock in his head?
Malcolm currently does.
We probably should have asked about that before.
I would like to poke his rock.
Okay, you kind of reach out to poke it and he just kind of instinctively recoils away a bit.
Is that one real, or do you just make it look like it's there?
Are you bedazzled?
It's certainly real. If you must touch it to know, you may.
I'd like to poke it with a decent amount of pressure.
Okay, you poke it with like, just enough to like move his head slightly, and he kind of winces a little at that. You don't know if it's out of pain or just out of like discomfort at you poking that hard, but it certainly feels and seems real.
You didn't have that last time I was here.
I have it now.
Why?
Because I am dedicated to the rock. Six. Your new friends are very inquisitive.
What can I do around here to get myself one of them sweet gems?
Do you actually ask that?
Sure.
Okay.
Alistair would kind of lean back and he'd say it.
If you would like, you would need to dedicate yourself to the rock, spend time contemplating whether it's the right decision for you, let the rock speak to you, let the glow speak to you, and
But what do I get out of it?
a correspondence with the glow.
But I thought this was all for the rock.
The glow and the rock are one and the same.
Why does it have different names then?
They are two parts of the same coin.
Oh, like nine pieces of 8. It's a Pirates of the Caribbean reference.
No idea what that is.
Alistair looks at Dorn and he goes, "You know pirates? That's
The-
awesome."
The
Well, I
rock
mean-
promises prosperity and good fortune.
What does
And
the
it
glow
delivers.
promise?
And mechanical spiders?
If that
Rock
is something you
promises
see him smile just a little
spiders.
bit. If that speaks good fortune to you, then perhaps.
Well, I mean, if it helps open up the city, then I think it's good fortune for all of us, don't you think?
I suppose on your current path it would be, though.
No. I'm saying all of us, you included.
I
That
think we
is.
should all get rocks.
I'm not one for
I
religion.
turn to
or
Dorn
merit.
and I go, "I hear that when you get it, it rocks."
Doran stops and goes, "You know, I'm not normally one for faith, but you drive a hard bargain, Alistair."
Hey, says Six. I'm not opposed to getting stoned, just like everybody else.
Alistair kind of grins and he points like, "Attaboy." Now, do you have to put the rock on your head? Can it go on your arm? Or is it a
Well,
head thing?
I mean no disrespect, but I don't know that you are good candidates for that.
Oh, I'm absolutely not. I'm just wondering, is it only in? Is the only place that the rock deserves to be the head?
Or is it just the most fashionable place?
It's
Sorry.
It's the traditional place for it, though I've never seen someone have it placed anywhere else, but I suppose theoretically you could put it elsewhere. Maybe.
Well, says Six, sort of showing off a tattoo.
As he shows off a tattoo, I go, "I have one of those," and I make a giant snake tattoo wrapping around my neck and like coming up to my left cheek. See?
Right.
I don't like this look. It slowly snakes back down.
I don't understand your relationship with the rock, Six, but I think it's special.
Didn't you put it there?
That's not exactly. I didn't. You know, Savaris should be arriving soon,
One last question for you, Mr. Malcolm.
I suppose.
Are you dedicated to helping Direwood come back?
I am, if the rock deems it necessary.
Well,
Thus
if
far it
Direwood
has, so
if
I
Direwood
suppose
all
yes.
falls, then doesn't the rock lose its following?
Not necessarily, but I think it is in the church's best interest to see Direwood rise, so I suppose, yes. Now, if I may, one more question for you, all of you. I have many questions, actually, about the Mage's Guild Labyrinth, but
One.
what I really want to know is, what are you actually doing here?
I can show you my correspondence. I'm here to learn because this intrigues me more than most faiths. No offense, Bess.
None taken.
But we're also here, as I said to Savaris, to maybe get a little bit of aid against a common enemy who is going to keep killing innocent people until she gets
I
her
wouldn't
way.
quite say a common enemy.
I
I'd
would.
say a common threat.
Fair, a threat to everyone here, including yourself. And I boop him on the nose.
Doran, are you hiding anything in that, or are you being genuine?
That is Doran being genuine.
Okay. He seems to, he kind of scans you. He nods slowly. Very well. Okay. I will, if you don't mind, return to what I was doing.
What's that?
Sitting.
Other than eavesdropping.
I was never eavesdropping. I greeted you and followed you in.
Did you say you're gonna go back to sitting?
Yes.
You are a blast. You must just be the star at parties.
I
Hey, what are you doing tonight? I'm just sitting.
Holden.
am called upon when I'm needed.
When you're not
To
needed, you
perform your
sit?
sitting.
I could just never sit for that long.
Six,
I
you
will
have
start
certainly
walking
changed,
away.
haven't you? I don't know what you've been through.
Actually, this is my original outfit. Doran made me a new one, but then he got this one fixed up, and so I have not changed at all.
Very well. And he also begins walking away, kind of following Doran a little awkwardly, but he's also walking this way when he goes to sit down.
I will immediately sit.
Wait, are you leaving? Oh, I guess that tracks.
At that, I kind of stand up and look at Six and go, I had your word.
What have I done?
That tone. And I kind of turn back and sit back down.
Alistair's gonna turn.
Okay.
Actually, I turn to someone and go, how long before the service begins?
Are you just asking anyone?
Anybody near me who would know.
Okay, probably this guard over here. You just go ask. He looks to you. The service isn't for, I think, a couple more days.
Oh, the thing that we're all waiting for. Is that just Savaris?
Yes.
Okay.
We
Right.
are mucho early.
Yeah, I Ethernetted, and it's still being cutty, and I'm really getting worried about it, and I might have to actually take apart my computer and check it out. So
Super fun.
yeah, basically.
Okay.
Well, in that case, I'm gonna put my hand on Bess's shoulder and go, I'm gonna go explore. I'll be back in a bit.
Okay, do your best. Have fun.
Will do.
Okay, come back. Okay, now that he's gone, I'm kidding, because he's still here.
All right. Is there anything you guys would like to do? Or are you going to, or Alistair, you're exploring. Are you like literally leaving the church?
Yes,
What are you trying to explore?
that.
Okay, you'll be heading over there.
Oh shit! I accidentally hit backspace.
What's everyone else doing while we're waiting for Savaris?
I fucking.
Having been accused of potentially towing the line, I shut up again. Zoom out, smile a little broader. Pay a little bit more attention to what's going on with the group.
I'm gonna take Six's hand and say, let's go on a walk.
Let's go on a walk.
Okay. Where are you guys going on a walk to?
Outside.
Outside. Okay, you guys are gonna go for a little walksies. Right. Well, let's go kind of in the same order here. So, Doran, are you doing anything while you're waiting? The rest of your party seems to have left.
I look back and go, I've been Malcolmed. And I look to the person next to me. What are they doing?
This is it seems like a very very thin human, probably male. You can't see his ears or anything. He's got a hood over his head, but he's sitting up and he's just kind of looking up, his mouth agape just slightly.
Catatonic,
and you can see he does have a gem in his head, and he looks
Mouth
over.
breather.
He looks over and closes his mouth and looks over as you say that. What does that mean?
Different conversation time. So I kind of lean close, scooch a little closer, just a wee bit, lad. I'm new here. Can you talk to me about the rock? I'd love to hear its secrets.
You see him smile a little. You can see, now that you're closer, you can see like his face. He's very scruffy, not like a full beard mustache, but he just looks like he hasn't shaved in a few days. That sort of look, and kind of smells a little bit.
Doran grimaces slightly and quickly prestidigitations right under his nose the smell of lilac.
Okay. But you see, as you ask about the rock, he just kind of acts like you're itching. You see, as you ask about the rock, he smiles just a little bit. I would love to tell you all about the rock. What can I tell you?
Have any men ever escaped from it, like on a homemade raft?
Oh, Jason, shut the fuck up. same shirt, bros. I kind of lean in. You know, I honestly don't know much. I know that if you listen to the glow, it will guide you.
He
And
nods
that-
knowingly.
Of the beings around and those that are worshipped, the glow seems to actually listen more than, let's say, the Kellumbor.
He nods some more. His eyes close now, and he just seems to be just eating this up. He's loving every word and just agreeing slowly and smiling.
But I've also heard, from the New Republic especially, that the Queen doesn't really enjoy it.
Is that so? Why wouldn't she enjoy it?
Rivals for power, doesn't it? Someone who wants to rule everything being opposed.
There is no rivalry. The Queen may have domain over hers, but the Rock has domain over all. And yes, it does listen. And if you're lucky or worthy, it does respond. And it gives us many things.
I forget, Holden, have I heard the rock?
Get rid of that. Maybe. You did have that one weird dream. Otherwise, you're not sure what that was. If that was the rock or like the witch. Well, no, you're not sure what that was. It was weird, and it kind of gave you the rock vibes. And that was shortly after you visited the church, I suppose. But you can't definitively say for sure ever like, oh yes, the rock spoke to me.
I had a weird dream last time I was here.
Go on.
I don't remember myself actually, but Holden, it's been a. Is it sent to me somewhere? Is it like?
It was an audio file actually.
Where would that have been sent to me?
I think I individually ended up messaging it all to each of you on Discord because the initial way I tried to play it wasn't working for everyone. Did you want to re-listen to that and then I can move on to other players and come back?
When the
I could probably resend it. I'm sure I still have it. If you,
I'm
if
all
you
the
would
way
like.
back at Throwballer.
Throwballer.
And I have seen no audio file.
Okay. I should have it. Let's see here. Was this it? Yes. Okay. I can send it to you quick. And then I'll go back to some of the other players and here. There you are. I just resent it to you.
2 minutes and 13 seconds.
Yeah. So while Doran is recalling his dream, Alistair.
My mic's gonna be muted for a little bit, just so
Okay.
you know.
Yep. Alistair, you take a step outside. The two guards give you a look, nod. You politely walk by and move over to the side, where a side little door is guarded by a single man wielding a long sword. And he stands there as you approach.
Is it like a shed or what? Is it like a separate building?
It seems like it's attached to the church. It seems like it's some sort of You're not sure actually, but it seems as though it's attached to the church. It's probably not a shed.
So, recalling the inside of the church, would I have noticed a door there?
No, there was no door. He is standing. I will say he is standing in front of a door on the structure.
Yeah, but there's no door inside the church.
Correct.
Leading to where it would be.
Correct.
Is this like the entrance to the cellar, or?
Sort of. It's the entrance to the barracks and the assembly.
Ah. Noted. Thank you. I was just curious. I've been here once, but I didn't get to look around much. It was kind of thundery. We had to leave.
So
in a
I've
hurry.
heard.
Yeah. He's not here, thank God.
Thank you for that.
It wasn't my decision. He left on his own, but it's the benefit of the others. Thank you. That's all. Just
Very
curious.
well.
I'll make my way back inside.
You head back inside and notice Six and Bess. Bess like kind of not quite dragging but pulling Six by the hand out of the church. So as you re-enter, Bess and Six, is there anything you guys wanted to talk about on your brief little walk, church adjacent walk?
I feel like I've done pretty good. No.
You've been great. I just
Oh.
wanted to see if we should maybe, while we're here, maybe try to get a rock and see if it's brainwashing people. I mean, I think it's obvious that it is, but
Do you think it would be beneficial to see if one of us could be indoctrinated to see what everything's about from the inside? Do you think that is a step we should take?
I think it's a step worth considering, but we have to weigh it against the possible brainwashing.
Yes, that's
'Cause
true.
That would not be ideal. I mean, maybe I suppose it would be best if we could maybe see about getting one of the members who has the rock in their head to I don't want to say kidnap and rip the rock from their head and see what happens, but I think maybe we should try to kidnap one and rip the rock from their head and see what happens.
It might kill them.
Does Alistair hear any of this?
Really?
I presume they've
it's
kind
possible.
of walked off on their own. So
Okay.
if you headed back inside, no.
If they've merged so fully with the rock, and it is in fact in their head, removing it may leave a gaping hole in their head. I'm not certain. And usually
I
gaping
hadn't-
holes in heads.
I hadn't thought of that.
But we might have to try.
Honestly, at some point, let's bring the group back together and talk about ideas of how to get us a rock.
I would be already having some in my system. I would be not happy. I would be willing to go through with the transformation process. Perhaps I would have an easier time taking, not resisting. I might have an easier time resisting the wiles of the rock. I'm not positive, but it is a thought.
Let's bring it up with the group.
Copy that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should we go back?
Indeed.
All right.
I grab your hand.
Yep. Hand in hand, you guys walk back to the church. And as you are walking back, before you enter, let's see. Blake, are you back?
I'm
Okay.
back.
Are you ready to conclude your thing?
Yeah.
Sure. So you were mentioning your dream to this
Random
church
guy
goer.
on a church pew. Well, it was a voice. Very commanding and voice. Well, most of what it talked about was about spirits and your soul. That the mortal coil isn't much worth our time, and our desires are nothing but mortal desires. Now, there's a few phrases I remember. Be born again in the glow. Let the rock guide you and become the god you need. Gods didn't create mortals. Mortals created the gods. Heaven, hell, and reincarnation are just fantasies. Mortals created the holy rock.
He continues nodding.
Does the rock speak to me, my friend?
I think it did. And he kind of like it reaches out one hand and places it on your shoulder. That is a true honor.
How do I speak back?
You speak. I do it every day.
Can you guide me? I kind of smile at him.
He's like his smile grows and he just seems elated. He says, "Of course, you come." You've already kind of scooted closer to him. He says, "Sit comfortably. Sit however you'd like. In whatever position you can. Forget about the physical realm. Lean back, sit forward, whatever works for you. Close your eyes. And imagine that voice. Imagine the rock. Imagine the glow. Picture it in your head, in front of you, whatever works for you. And in your mind, or out loud, speak to it. It's as simple as that."
Now, I'm assuming, Holden, at this point, I've listened to this man speak for over a minute.
Yep.
Okay. Just so I have that knowledge, I have this person. At this point, am I close enough to make out almost all of their physical form?
The physical, like, form, yes. The details, it's all robed, so not really. You're still not even sure if his race because it's covered with a hood. But, like, the facial features and his voice, absolutely.
Okay, so basically, if I wanted to copy him, how he looks at this very second, I've got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
With your clothes, that is possible.
I know it is. I wanted, the second you said any position, my brain went, do the fetal position. See if it scares him. Curl up on a ball. What's up? What's wrong? What's wrong? That's how I'm most comfortable.
That's how he speaks to God.
Do you kind of do you listen to what do you listen to instructions? Do you like sit and get comfortable?
I get comfortable, but okay. And Doran's almost always sitting as comfortable as possible because he feels himself way higher than he should.
Okay.
So he always thinks he has to be in the most luxurious spot. So he moves a little bit just to make it look like he's getting comfortable. He kind of bows his head a little bit and sits there for a few minutes. He is saying things, but nothing I'm going to say out loud.
Okay.
After a few minutes, kind of sits back up, claps this man on the back, and extends my left hand. Sure. Doran.
Oh shit! What's this one's? I have names for all these fucks, but okay.
Hey, remember when you made fun of me on Tuesday?
Yeah. He extends his hand. Barrow's the name.
All right, give me a sec. I have multiple pages up. I need to make a note of that name.
I put it in chat.
Thank you, Dad. I need to get these out of my any other notes page and into an actual notes document. Random ass churchgoer. That is his description in my notes.
Okay.
Because as far as I'm concerned, he is a random ass churchgoer. Oh, I should make sure I actually mark Church of the Rock. Thank you for it has been a pleasure. I have one last question.
Of course.
That's regarding the thing on your head. Does it make you closer to the rock?
He nods.
And
I have felt a deeper connection since.
No. And if anyone wanted to be closer to the rock, would they be able to obtain it?
Of course, anyone may petition the assembly to allow them.
I'm petitioning the assembly for a lot today.
Are we
It is
eligible for the DLC?
I will warn you, a dangerous initiation. Though the benefits are great, the actual process is heinous. The rock wishes nothing but peace, but in order to obtain peace, the unworthy, the unpeaceful, must be pushed aside.
Well,
Isn't pushing non-peaceful?
I have not been the most peaceful man in my life so far. I've actually killed 2 people. I shudder and like gag a little bit. Oh, that was a terrible, terrible time.
Now connected.
Now connected. Did it just connect to my iPhone?
It did. It said Holden's iPhone.
Dude, I'm so glad that at this point Doran's looking at the sky and he hears, "You are now connected." He knows.
You push on the rock on this guy's forehead, and it goes, "Boo-doo, now connected to." These people have invented
OnStar.
Bluetooth.
I mean, given they were trying to kill me,
It's on stone.
is self-defense forbidden in the mind of the rock?
Of course not.
No, if we are all supposed to be peaceful, and I look to the guy next to me near me with, like, is that a crossbow?
Mm-hmm.
How does he have a crossbow?
Because not everyone is willing to be peaceful.
Fair enough. Last time I was here, someone shot a lightning bolt at other people. It was crazy.
He opens his mouth as if to say something, and he hesitates. That is partially why they're here.
Fair enough. That was a terrible time. I wonder who brought that man here.
He kind of squints at you a little bit.
Doran looks completely bewildered and
I
just
was-
like looking around with such a confused look on his face.
I was there that day.
Was I? I look at him.
You make a deception check. Okay. He kind of squints. The rock can help you.
Glad I feel kind of lost.
And as you say that, and as Bess and Six re-enter the church, and Alistair has already re-entered and begun kind of meandering, chilling, doing his thing. Savaris re-enters, shortly behind Six and Bess, and he steps in. Oh, I'm glad you're still here. The assembly has agreed to a meeting.
I will get up and pat Barrow on the back. Go, it was a pleasure. I hope to see you again.
He nods. It was a pleasure.
I'll start heading out. I'll also mention to everyone here, I was definitely muted for almost all of both of your guys' all three of your stuff. So I have no clue what happened. I'm going to keep it that way.
Yeah. Right.
The last thing I came into was, and they walked back hand in hand. Everything else before that, fuck all.
Perfect. All right. So as you guys are kind of reconvening a bit, and Savaris comes in and says, "The assembly has agreed to a meeting. However, they do need time to prepare and deliberate, so it won't be until tomorrow morning. I presume will that work?"
That is wonderful.
Excellent. We can prepare a place for you to stay, beneath the church or wherever you'd like. If you have your own arrangements, whatever works for you.
Beneath the church sounds interesting.
Very well.
Is our place more private? That I'd be maybe able to establish a closer connection with the glow.
I'm so glad to hear that. But sort of. Once you see, I'll bring you down there. There are slightly more private rooms, but not really meant for worship exactly. But sort of, yes. Would you like to? It is getting dark. Would you like to head down now, or?
Oh, Celeste, did I ever tell you about my dream?
I don't think you've told me about any dream.
The last time we were here, as we left and bed ourselves down, I had a strange dream. One that me and Barrow talked about, and you might be interested to hear about.
Certainly. But would you like to see your arrangements here, or do you need a moment to discuss where you'll stay tonight?
I'm fine with under the church.
How
Nothing
close
bad's
is
ever
the
happened.
last-
Show us our arrangements.
I'm
Very well.
sorry, how close is the last stop in?
The last stop in again is
Or-
like
Is
Opposite
it,
direction.
okay,
Opposite
I couldn't
direction.
remember if it was in the opposite direction, if we were going near it. Sorry.
All good.
Alistair really just wants to flex that this guy
No,
doesn't
it's-
hate
It's,
him.
there's a reason. It's because he doesn't hate me. Get fucked.
Yeah,
Well, he doesn't hate Doran.
It is halfway between Direwood and Priest, so it's unless you wanted to travel back and forth for the entirety of your day every day, you wouldn't really be able to spend the night there.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember if I asked where it was in relation to Shinebright or.
Oh,
the church,
I mean,
so
yeah,
my bad.
you guys are even further from it than yeah. Okay. So he'll gesture toward the door and lead you guys outside, and you will head to actually Alistair, where you inquired earlier to this man. And as Savaris
Same guard.
approaches, yep, same guard.
I like
the
it when
guard-
we go, oh yeah, what a coincidence.
Yeah, he recognizes you, nods to you, and looks over to Savaris. And Savaris says, "The assembly has given them rest for tonight. They may stay here." And the guard nods, steps to the side, and he produces a very large, what appears to be a stone key, and inserts it, and you can see him like struggle to kind of open it up, and a tunk, and you hear a click, 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 and then a poof, and he pushes, and this stone door opens up, and you can see before you a torchlit stone walkway, stairs heading down. I don't even have to describe it because you can see now. Bah!
I kind of look at Celeste. It seems like a really not the best design plan for such a heavy door.
He nods. The assembly is careful.
Fair. Last time you let strangers in here, someone tried to kill someone. I start to nod slightly.
Yeah, I will say the door was not this way when you last visited. We'll put it that way. Right this way then. And he starts descending the stairs. Will you all follow?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'll follow closely behind.
Sure. I
Oh,
love
right.
traps.
I'd look at 6 and I go, to think I almost snuck in here.
Think.
Does the guard say anything?
Do you say that loud enough for the guard to hear?
How close is the guard to me in 6?
I mean, he was kind of stepped off just a few feet to the side.
Then yeah, I'd
You
say
could
it
wait
loud
just
enough,
a-
and then
Okay.
I'd say it loud enough, and then when he turns to look, I'd wink at him with a smile.
Yeah, and he does turn to look, and you just give a wink and a smile, and you see him actually.
He draws his blade
seems-
and tries to kill.
He can tell you're joking. He seems mildly entertained, and he just kind of shakes his head and closes the door behind you guys with a.
Oh, no,
I,
we all
I
die.
reply,
One of the
hopefully
characters.
you won't have to sneak out. And I wink as well.
Right. Then as you guys descend the stairs, it is about 1.5 flights of stairs down. And
How many stairs in specific? I
tw-
count as I walk.
Okay, you count. There's 21.
Cool.
A flight and a half is an odd number. That makes
Sure.
sense, I guess.
Sure, it is now.
Fuck you, Owen. Doran, as he walks, goes, a 1, a 2. As he just like,
Most flights of
All
stairs
the way
average
down.
out 12 to 13 steps, but it depends on the height of the staircase. So at 21 for a flight and a half, that's closer to 2, but it's like a little less than 2. I was kind of close. Anyway, you guys head down a fair ways, and
Would you
eventually,
say like a flight and a half?
yeah, about a flight and a half, maybe a little more.
Ah.
Eventually, the stairway opens up into a wider corridor with 2 large wooden doors, and Severus, with ease, opens both of them, and they creak open, and you see a torchlit sanctum that Severus will guide you through now. I have a certain amount already showing for where he will guide you, but here it is. If you look at kind of the top right of your map.
oh, the top right of my map. Got it. Hold on. I am zoomed in 106%. I'm gonna
Yikes.
make that a 96.
But he leads you in here, and you descend some even more stairs over here, and then more over here as he continues leading you through. And as you descend that second set of stairs, he gestures to the left, and brings you guys down here, where you see this row of beds, and a couple of tables, and he says, "They have arranged that some of the others will sleep in a separate quarter. For tonight, this area is yours."
How many others normally are there?
Well, it depends. This area is free to those who have ascended and free to the assembly and other certain members of the church. So at any given time, you might find 2 to a dozen people down here. It depends.
Count the beds out loud at a dozen. 1, 2. There's only 8 beds.
There are more beds elsewhere.
Just think
The-
of a dozen
Do they
people.
double up?
Do they no. The entire assembly is not here at the moment, which is why the meeting must take place tomorrow. But in the morning, they will be here, and I can actually show you if you'd like where the assembly will be held.
Yeah,
would
that
we?
would be awesome.
Yes.
Certainly. And he's going to bring you guys. I'll just go ahead and open it up now. Over here. You can see he just steps down. It steps up the staircase over here, and you can see immediately there are a couple of guards or people in robes with spears, kind of just practicing on some dummies and such. And he steps up, and one of them looks over. They give a nod, and he leads you guys to where he is now over here, to this very slightly raised platform, in the center here, and he explains to you, tomorrow, the assembly will assemble here and hear your case.
Oh, that's why it's called an assembly.
Now, is there anything else I can do for you? Do you need food or water for tonight?
Please.
Yeah, absolutely. It's nothing lavish, of course, but right this way. And he
I'll eat the scraps. I don't care.
steps back this way and leads you guys down this torchlit corridor to over here, where I will reveal this area, where you see there are in fact more beds and some tables to eat at. And
Is there a bathroom down here?
there is, of course.
Dorn doesn't need one.
The
Disgusting.
the washroom is actually he points out just over here. And you do recognize there are a few figures in this kind of dining area. One of which you recognize, the purple robed man, who you recognize as the priest.
Oh, hell no. What's up, dog?
Jason, repeat that again for me.
I don't think.
Can we
should
make
I?
that a stream? Can we clip that and make that a stream donation? Oh, hell no. What's up, dog?
Yo, actually, that's a great idea. Let me take a
I'd love
timestamp
that
real quick.
For first-time
was-
subscribers. First-time subscribers.
Dude, that'd
oh,
be fucking
hell
awesome.
no. What's up,
dog?
Yeah, I just took a note.
Jason,
Hell yeah.
you're a gem, my guy. You're beautiful.
you.
But yeah, you
Um,
recognize Yorlin, Seer, the priest in the robes there.
I think I have his name somewhere.
I think you should.
Okay,
But you also, and there's
yep.
also some sort of some churchgoer in the same brown robe, simple brown robes as many of those upstairs, and behind them, a very large man, with long white hair, with a massive black shield, clad in full plate armor, just kind of sitting on a stool that's almost comically too small for him, and just kind of leaning back and chewing on some bread.
Okay, guys. Now, because Holden has pointed that he wants us to talk to this guy, none of us can talk to him. Focus on the guy in the brown robes.
You can talk to whoever you want or don't.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care.
yeah. Oh, the man sitting at the bar, covered in scars and dark clothing. And then there's a goblin. What's the goblin's name?
Hello, sir. What are you in for? I asked.
But no, as you walk into this area, Savaris, he nods and greets Yorlin and brings you guys in, and he says to Yorlin, our friends require food for tonight and water. I assume we can supply. And Yorlin nods. Of course.
How's everything healing up?
He smiles. I am fine. Thank you very much for asking.
We didn't.
I just did.
I didn't.
We didn't.
But
Yeah.
who asked? No, I'm kidding.
I heard, Yorlin says, I heard you did not bring that friend this time.
We have separated ourselves from that friend, and he is no longer part of our group. And we bid the most apologies possible on our behalf, as well as the commander from the Croaked Rangers apologizes profusely, and very quickly reprimanded and punished
Oh my
Him.
god.
for taking such drastic actions with no real reason.
Us joining Light's regime, we could have made a separate group called the Croaked Rangers.
Wow. That hurts how good it is.
Because, yeah, exactly. You
But-
would sit there and you'd be proud of me, Dad.
I'm proud and disappointed. It's a really weird feeling. But
My dad, whenever he looks at me,
Safaris
just
does collect some bread and some water for you guys. It, again, as he mentioned, is simple. But he offers you bread and water and sits you at a table. Is there any conversation you'd like to have here with anyone tonight, or would you like to kind of fast forward to when you go to bed the next morning assembly? What do you guys want to do?
What does that guy say when I ask what he's in for?
Do you actually ask the big burly dude?
Yeah.
You ask what he's in for, and he looks at you. What?
Oh, you're deaf.
No. We're just
I-
trying to make some friendly conversation, good sir.
can I smack Six across the chest? Like a dad would, just that quack thwap.
Yes,
You
that's a good reminder.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say you can roll the hit, but if he's just gonna allow it, then yeah, you can give him like a.
Fine. I
So,
perhaps should not have said that.
this big burly man is just kind of like squinting at Six now.
I
Right.
apologize.
How long have you been a church member?
Few months.
I kick him under the table.
I look at Six. Why don't you go talk to him about your connection with the Rock, personally?
Alistair's just kind of leaned back in the chair with a grin on his face. I'd like to connect up to Six and go, keep going. This is great.
No!
You got the devil and the angel on your shoulder, and now
But Doran looks at him and goes, go talk to him about your connection with the Rock. Might yield some more results. You have a unique perspective here.
That's a good idea, Doran. I take my shirt off.
I go,
And
let's go with him.
and I
Something
show
like this.
off my tattoos.
Okay. You
Explain
just
how they
take your shirt off and come over to this guy.
uh-huh.
Rub my temples
And
go,
whoever's listening, kind of like
Yeah,
I'm trying to regale the
elaborated.
room type.
you should
Okay.
have elaborated on what you were doing before you took off your
Okay,
shirt.
so you
but
just take off your
okay.
shirt and go over. And as soon as you take off your shirt, this big man kind of like sits up a little bit, and then you start explaining. So these tattoos, like, you start explaining they have some sort of connection to the rock, whatever. And
The rock flows within me.
yeah, and you certainly have everybody's attention in the room. Yorlin, this monk, and your party, Savaris, they're all looking at you. Here's the thing. You can either tell me what you say, or you can say this is what you're
Okay.
attempting to do, and you can make some sort of check to not be.
An idiot.
I gotcha. Let me do this. Let me sort of just say the basics, and then I will make the roll. Just
Sure.
see how well I do. So I basically want to talk about I was part of an experiment essentially, and the rock chose myself and a few others alone to be worthy of their intervention, if you will. And I explained that they flow and they change to kind of depending on the environment, the moods of everything that's going on, my mental state, and I chuckle at that. And I try to make it impressive. So as far as you want this a performance, a persuasion, what are we thinking?
I was thinking a general charisma, but I like the idea of performance if
Charisma.
that's kind of what you're going for.
All right, I'll take it.
If
and
you're
I
trying to
will
like
roll
regale the
away.
room, I'll take your performance. 21.
Let's
Okay. So
go!
So immediately Six takes off your shirt and you're all like, "Oh no." But then he starts regaling the room, telling about his tattoos and their origin, and it's actually quite an interesting story. Explaining everything he just did, and at the end, you see Yorlin kind of contemplating, but the large man. You know, usually before you take your shirt off and tell your life story, you tell someone your name. But that's all very intriguing. I haven't heard anything like that before. Are you an Ascended then?
Well, first I would like to point out that no, before I take my shirt off, I don't give people my name.
He actually gives a hearty chuckle at that.
And I suppose perhaps not within the exact bounds of the language that people refer to as, what did he say, ascended? Ascended, perhaps not officially within the church, but within the eyes of the rock, absolutely. Perhaps more than some others.
Very well then.
Okay.
Mm.
I'm
Yeah?
gonna try.
Okay. You guys see Alistair get up and he kind of starts looking through. Alistair, you find some potatoes and grains and such. There is... Oh god, what would I even have you roll for this? I guess a survival, right? Is kind of typically...
I would like to put water in and flavor it as beef broth.
How?
With prestidigitation.
Oh, yeah. Tell you what, actually, with your magic, it's not that hard to just kind of like a beef broth potato stew. Yeah, I wouldn't even. Okay, you can roll survival. Just
if you nat one,
but
this,
the
Oh
yeah.
my god.
Oh, I was gonna say the only way this turns out poorly is if you nat one. So as this man,
you were given a free.
as this man. I was gonna say DC super low. Only way this goes wrong is on nat one. Is what I was in the middle of saying, and you rolled it into nat one. But as this man is listening to you, Six, and eventually you finish, you give him the chuckle with the shirt comment, and he after that he extends his hand, his big meaty hand. He says, "The name's Adric."
Adric. They call me Six. They didn't really give me a name.
Very well. I want to hear more about this. It's the most interesting thing I've heard here in months.
I'd like to taste the soup and then throw it out.
We'll get to that in just a moment.
I'm gonna make a new batch.
Okay.
You know?
Well, give me a moment.
Okay.
Because as you're
I will
shaking
consume-
hands, Six, your hand is like consumed by this guy's big. It's like, you hear a splash, and behind you, you look over and you see Alistair kind of stood over a pot that has fallen over and spilled water, and beef-smelling water and potatoes everywhere.
I go, oh.
And Savaris immediately gets up. Oh my! And he comes over and starts to. he like grabs cloth rags, whatever he can, to try to like mop this up and try to help you clean up the mess.
Absolutely broken. He just tried making soup.
Six says, no. This is part of his process. This will be delicious.
As Severus is cleaning, I will press the digitation, everything clean, and go, no worries about the mess. Apologies.
Severus.
I look up at Doran and I go, I'm making soup.
Please make soup in a pot, not the floor.
Severus takes the big pot that's now empty and clean. He says, I'm sorry, I should have warned you. And he takes it from like one fire pit to another, and he says, this one is very, very loose. Like you had it like on some sort of mechanism, some sort of hinge to hold the pot over the fire, and it just like tumbled over. Yeah, and he goes, so sorry about that.
I will bring new water down when we go up next.
I hate to impose, but some potatoes as well would be great. We don't have a lot of
Yes.
that. Right. Let me help you. Or do you want help? You seem to know what you're doing. It
it's my
smelled good for
process.
what it's worth.
I will get this. I promise.
Right. Very well. And he goes and sits back down as you go over to make some fresh batch of stew.
I look
Do you
over
want to
and I go,
roll
"Does
this
anybody
time?
else want soup?
I think everyone here probably would
I will
enjoy
have soup.
a different meal than bread on Yorlin.
Do you want to roll for survival this time, Alistair, or
Can
do
I
you want to just?
pass it?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. It will be fine beef and potato stew if you just don't do anything. If you don't roll, it's fine with your magic.
But it's not
But-
amazing.
But if you want the potatoes, okay.
And I'm gonna go. I know I can make soup. And I'm gonna give myself bardic inspiration.
Okay.
I will not fuck this up. I will not fuck this up.
Okay.
If you fuck this up, Isaac, I'll kick the shit out of you on Sunday.
So, I think that's an extra D10 at this level.
D10.
Wow.
Let
At
me,
11?
Let me just make sure.
Okay.
Holden's cute.
Bardic
So I-
inspiration. Yep, 1d10.
Clara, Brandon is accusing you of having fallen asleep.
No.
Yeah, no, you.
Okay, with an
Okay,
18.
I'll take that.
Does that look like a
Tell
sleeping
Brandon
person
he's
to
a
you?
loser.
Wait, he can hear you.
Sleeping
I'm kidding.
person to you? Does she look like she's sleeping?
What?
Granted, she kind of did before.
Oh, fair enough.
I am very, very, very sleepy.
Okay.
I
As
will admit.
so, you guys have some more just kind of pleasant chit chat with Savaris. As 6, I presume you continue talking to Azuric.
Indeed.
Yeah, you have a hearty conversation with Adric talking about and like he kind of like you actually make a charisma check with advantage.
Copy that.
Don't forget your...
Charisma.
All right, 6 has rolled
Right.
21 twice in a row now, and meanwhile Alistair just trying to make soup. Just...
Hell yeah.
Right. As you're all chatting, 6. This guy takes to your don't give a fuck tough attitude, the strange this personality you have going for you, rather quickly, and you're real chummy within the next half hour before Alistair has some stew ready, and you've already gotten a couple of arm punches and some looks at some tattoos and some. Yeah, all right. That looks real professional, actually. That's crazy that it just changes.
Isn't it? I like flex my muscle a little.
You go, yeah.
Is there kind of as the evening progresses and whatnot? Can I try to roll a what is it? It's a no. You'll just tell me because I can't think right now. Can I get a beat on this guy whether or not he's like super into the? Is he a crazy religious nut at this point, or is he?
Oh God.
I'm just trying to figure out who these people are.
Clara, remind me at the end of the stream to do that. Go fuck yourself.
I didn't know I could do that.
She's
Should
gonna
just
make me
donate
do.
you push-ups.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she just not even donate. It's just a thing she can do.
I had to clear out your queue last night because I went to mod. And you've gotten that request 12 times.
Yeah, great. So all right. So you don't need to make a roll for that. He is very open about it, actually. If you just kind of like, or are you trying to be discreet about figuring this out?
Definitely.
Okay, then yeah. Could you make an insight check?
Insight. Rolling. Hey.
That's 3 21s in a row. All right, fuck you, Alistair.
My night.
All right. With that, you can figure throughout the conversation he has little to no interest in the church itself. He is mostly a hired guard,
Okay, interesting.
sort of a personal
in
guard
that
to the
case-
assembly.
Okay, I would just try to lightly float that there are other groups in the area that might pay for your services as well. I know there's the town of Direwood there, trying to clear the fields of activity and rebuild. So I'll just try to kind of float that, put it in the back of his brain, like there's other work out there. That's cool.
Yeah, just made a friend. Let's immediately start poaching their workers.
Hey man, I work in advertising.
You know what, Jason? I can't argue with you. I mean,
you kind of
can, but there's no point.
you kind of discreetly float that idea out there. Kind of like once you're kind of chumming up with him, you kind of lean in and kind of describe that, and he says,
Yeah.
he says, well, they're paying me pretty good here, so you'd have to offer me quite a bit. Honestly, it's a pretty cozy job. I get fed. I have water. I have what I need.
Well, actually, that sounds pretty decent. Do you mind if I ask what they are paying? If maybe I wanted to pick up a little work.
Well, for me, anyway, as a personal guard to the assembly, I'm getting 3 gold a day.
Oh fuck!
It's pretty good.
How the
It
fuck
is pretty good. One of the better daily
Alright.
jobs I've had.
All right, so the church has money. That's good to know. All right, that's I'm just palling around, doing whatever.
Yeah.
All right.
Is there any other conversation the rest of you wanted to have for tonight, or?
I'd like to talk to Yorlin and Severus.
Yeah, they're both here, and you are all served by Alistair at this point. A bowl of quite tasty.
Well, I hate to
beef
be that guy.
and
He hasn't added his D10.
Oh, do you have to?
Well, I mean, how long does Bardic Inspiration last?
I would allow. He's psyching himself up. We're not in combat. I would just allow it. Honestly.
Well, yeah, but what I'm going off of is if he doesn't use it, he'll probably lose it.
Yeah.
No,
So
fine. I'll use it. Sure.
that's the thing is like, oh, how long? Because he
Might as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're all served this stew. Second time around, potatoes cooked perfectly. They just melt in your mouth. The beef taste of the broth is.
Told you I could make stew. Damn it.
It's a very simple but very tasty beef broth and potato stew. And you're all served that up, and as you're served that and enjoying that, what did you want to talk to Savaris and Yorlin about?
Kind of sit down between them, or near them. So last time I was here, I had a dream when I left, and I would like you two to help me interpret it.
Yorlin says, "I would love to."
Severus,
I am glad to offer my thoughts, but I'm not exactly an expert.
well, you are my friend, above
Well-
everything else.
He smiles. If you would like my thoughts, I will gladly offer them.
Well, you didn't say in the audio clip. Was it just the voice and darkness, or was there visuals?
Like a purple
we-
glow was the only visual.
Did we all have this same dream?
As Doran starts talking about it, yeah, you had the same dream.
Were
just
we
haven't
all
talked-
aware that we had the same dream?
Well,
No,
yeah,
he sent
as
it all to each other separately and said, "Don't tell anybody else what you heard." Fucker.
Plus,
so
Doran doesn't know
as Doran starts talking about this dream, you're all realizing, wait, I know this. Hold on.
So it was just darkness with this purple glow, and the voice that would talk to me. It was talking about spirits and souls, about the waste of our mortal coil, and about desires. So much about desires. How our desire for sex, food, and all of this seems to corrupt our soul. That we're living. It actually said it's not easy living in such a evil and corrupt world. It also told me to awaken my spirit, and that heaven, hell, and reincarnation are just fantasies that we created, and that the reality of things is much more different, and that mortals created the holy rock. Not only that, that gods didn't create. We weren't created by gods. We created the gods. Told me repeatedly to be born again in the glow, and that my soul was a god inside of me, and I had to let it flourish.
Wait, you said this was a dream?
Yes, Bess, it was.
How long ago did you have this dream?
After we left here the first time. In such high spirits.
Huh.
Which would have
Oh,
been
indeed.
probably just a couple of weeks ago or so, a little over a couple of weeks ago.
So, Savaris, I'll start with you. What do you think it means?
It sounds to me like the glow was calling out to you. It sounds like it was. You came here initially to learn about the glow, didn't you? To learn about the church.
To learn about you. In full transparency, we were sent here to learn about you guys as a group.
Right. Well, if it was information you wanted, it sounds like it was information the glow was giving you. And Yorlin nods, his head kind of lowered, his eyes a little lowered. He nods. It sounds to me like the rock was both, based on what you said, warning you and welcoming you. Your visit last didn't exactly go as planned, to my knowledge, and as you can imagine, the rock probably wasn't too happy with it either. It sounds to me like it was telling you what you could have.
And what is that?
A path with the rock. A path with the glow. I was greeted with a not too dissimilar message when I first found the rock. I was not a good man. And the rock simply warned me that my way of living was detrimental to myself, to those around me, and to my afterlife. And it told me my struggles were unnecessary, and through it, I could create a world I wanted for myself.
Now, the thing is, the world I want isn't for me. I am many things. Oh, so many things. I kind of raise my arm and watch it slowly morph into Boros, his arm. Kind of look at them. I appear and am whatever I want to be, whenever I want to be it. I kind of lower my arm and it turns back to me. I want more safety for Direwood. Now, you're telling me that through the rock, this is possible? That I can help save this city and bring it to what it can be and should be?
They both nod, and Yorlin says, through the rock, all is possible. However, as you can imagine, everybody has a slightly different idea of what a perfect world is. The rock, to my understanding, takes all into consideration. If the will of the church as a whole is a restored Direwood, a safe Direwood, then with our combined dedication, the rock can provide it.
And that's the thing is, I don't want a perfect world. A perfect world would be boring. Would I be wrong in that assumption?
You see Savaris look up kind of tentatively in wonder, and Yorlin just smiles. A perfect world would not be boring, because that would defeat the purpose of the word perfect. But I think your perfect world would be very fun. Whereas my perfect world you would find very boring. So, to answer your question, yes, sort of.
I want a better world. One that doesn't have a giant crater in the center of it. And one that there isn't a crazed queen trying to kill innocent people for her own vindictive goals.
Savaris speaks up. If that is in fact who she is, then he kind of looks over at Yorlin. Don't see how we could disagree. Yorlin nods.
I mean, what person? And I still have this. I pulled out the piece of paper with the family on it.
Oh, with a drawn portrait?
Yep.
Oh, yikes.
Marilyn. And I kind of sit down and go, what type of person sends a father and a husband out to something deadly and widows her and leaves the child without a father? And I slide the piece of paper across the table and lean back.
Yorlin looks down at it and he nods very understandingly. But Savaris speaks up. Well, to be fair...
Sorry, I looked at Jason, what a jump! What a jump! What a jump!
Hunter's drunk. That's phenomenal.
He's very...
Hell yeah. We're gonna keep that up tonight. I'm gonna catch up with him
I
when we're done.
him up.
Well, he's gonna come hang out in my office with me, and I'm gonna catch up with him. It's gonna be a great night. But as
be there.
Yorlin kind of, I would love that. But as Yorlin kind of nods knowingly and understandingly, Savaris kind of speaks up. He says he gestures to the whole party. Well, that's fair, but at the same time, without people who go out and do dangerous things, great things can't be accomplished. I mean, let's say, I hate to entertain the idea, but perhaps to her you are evil. You know, and what if these people believe you're evil and they believe they're doing what's best for the world? You're doing the same thing, risking your lives.
The one we talked to, because we didn't, one of them did survive.
Bye.
Yeah, he gone.
Blake gone. Bye, Blake.
Blake looks confused.
Blake is not in the Discord. He's like, what the fuck?
Blake, where you go?
Blake, why you go? Blake, we miss you.
We were in the middle of a
Blake!
game.
Blake, we were playing. Blake.
Am I dead?
Am I dead? Blake, come back. Can we all just shout his name? Can we all just Blake?
Oh.
Blake?
Well, it worked.
Blake. The
Blake?
Blake summoning ritual is complete. You were
Well,
saying,
no.
Doran.
There was a second where my light flickered off, and then I just left. And I went, "Huh, interesting.
Spooky Discord
What was I saying?
ghosts.
Because I kept
Spirits
talking
of
before I
spooky.
realized what was happening, so I did
Oh.
not know where I left off.
You were just beginning to respond to Savaris, talking about how you're all risking your lives, etc., etc. Like, we really didn't catch any of your response, I don't think.
I lean it over more and go. We left. One survived.
Yes.
And he said they were given no information on us, and they were just told to kill us. And then the second ambush, the man we talked to, said the same.
What the hell?
So
I just got kicked out of Direwood. Sorry.
I
I'm sorry,
noticed.
I'm back.
it would appear to me that it isn't that we're evil; it's that we're standing in her way.
Don't get me wrong, Savaris says. I'm not insinuating that you're evil. I think quite the contrary. I'm just hypothetically. Everybody has different ideas of good and bad, and evil and righteous.
Well, let's do it this way. A man who has joined and came with us to the Cloaked Rangers headquarters. He openly disagreed with the Queen. Openly, very, very, just disagreed with her. Talked about new leadership. The very next time he showed his face in the pub, she had people there waiting to kill him.
Savaris nods. It sounds about right. And Yorlin speaks up. She does sound, from everything I've heard from you and others, like quite a besmirchment on Direwood.
So now I could
Right back. I have
understand
to pee. I'm sorry.
that
Go.
in some opinions we could be evil because we all have done questionable things, myself included. However, for someone to disagree with you and their first reaction is to try to kill them, that to me doesn't sound like you're making other people be evil or view them as evil. It seems like you're just removing obstacles.
Savaris continues to nod and agree. I can no longer see 6 or best. That's fun. But Yorlin, who's kind of just been listening, looks up. What of the rest of you then? Are you in full agreement with him? What do you want? What do your perfect worlds look like?
Oh, everyone's
Oh,
gone from
me?
the chat now. Oh, everyone's back.
Great. Internet's super fun tonight.
Yeah, that's weird. I'm showing up on mine.
Yeah, I see you
Like-
now, Jason. I don't see Clara.
Oh,
It's just
okay.
a black screen. I think she might
Okay.
be talking to Hunter.
I just reconnected. Sorry, I
Nice.
was talking to Hunter.
Okay.
Right,
No
Hunter?
worries.
Yeah, but
He said
but-
A.
Yorlin
B.
asks what the rest of the party's opinion is. What do your perfect worlds look like? Are you in agreement with Doran?
Not gonna lie, I was super distracted
Um,
by the two of them coming home, so I did not hear his description of that at all.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
Well, Yorlin is asking, What does your perfect world look like? What do you want? What do you want done about the queen? Do you think the queen is evil?
I would like, honestly, everyone to get over their shit and be nice to one another. But I feel like we know that's probably not going to happen.
And Yorlin looks over to Bess. And what of you? What do you want? What could you ask of the rock?
You know, I never thought I'd get this far.
Mhm.
So I don't have an answer for that yet.
Very well.
I think you have a cat in your room, honey.
I sure do. She's playing with her ball.
Oh.
Just having a grand old time smacking it against the door.
Do you want Hunter to let her out?
No, it's all right.
Oh, he says no, it's all right.
How do
Just
I
hang
turn
out.
mod
Do you
view
want a
back
pillow?
on Twitch? Does anyone know?
What?
Here.
Does anyone know how to turn mod view back on Twitch?
Cogwheel at the bottom
I
of
cannot-
chat. It should be the bottom option and when you click the cogwheel. Isaac, Yorlin is asking, what are the rest of the party's opinions? How does a perfect world look to you? What do you want of the queen? Do you think she's evil? Yorlin is asking for everyone else's opinion. What's Alistair's?
I guess I've never really thought about what a perfect world would look like. I think the world is fine as it is right now. Sure, there's scumbags and people who stop the scumbags, which then in turn might make them scumbags, but I don't know. I kind of like the way it is now. Maybe that's just because I'm living in the not, I have a place to go. I'm not out on the street each night. But I don't know. I like the way it is now. I believe the queen, if she's putting that much gold on my head, I feel like she needs to accomplish something or else she needs to go away. And as of right now, she's not accomplished anything, so she needs to go away.
Okay. Go ahead.
No.
Okay. Savaris is nodding at everything you guys are saying understandingly, but Yorlin is kind of looking down, and he says, "It sounds to me like you don't all know what you want. And if you don't know what you want, what do you plan to talk about with the assembly tomorrow?"
Do you want to know what I think we're going to be talking about? Not what we want. The next steps for Direwood as a whole. Together.
We have a responsibility to keep Direwood citizens safe. I mean, as of right now, with the New Republic and the Queen running all about and doing whatever they want, it's not safe for those who are with the Cloaked Rangers. It's not safe for people living on their own in Direwood if there are any left. It's not safe for you guys being out here. I mean, this is all...
You think it won't be safe in the future? Right now, the Queen, the New Republic, they mostly welcome our missionaries, or at least don't kill them. And they have posed no threats toward us, so long as we have stayed outside the city limits of Direwood.
My father lives in the New Republic, and when we messaged him, he said that things were starting to stir up. And I'm honestly hoping for his safe return or escape. But until then, I don't know. I hope he gets out safe. I hope that she doesn't take him to get to me. And that's kind of why I want her gone, is to secure my family.
Savaris responds. So it sounds like you guys think the Queen, the New Republic, is going to make a move soon? You think they're going to attack?
She's already been sending people to attack us, and I don't
I
think
fought off,
they'll take-
3 mercenaries?
Right, but to my understanding, you've done things directly against her, haven't you?
No, I don't believe so. We've done things
Then
for
why would she
Direwood,
come after you?
in my
Why-
opinion.
You've mentioned she has bounties on your head. Why would she place those?
Because we oppose her. In theoretics. We have a moral. want laws and rules and morals to be a center place, and not just the fact that someone who's lived in the New Republic for many years, Alistair's father, is theoretically a pawn in her game. How is that someone you want in a city with you? Someone who's just going to take a random person, an innocent person, and kill them or harm them for their own gain. Is that not someone you would remove from your city, remove from your vicinity, to just the danger of it? When innocent people are nothing but pawns, that to me is just something that needs to be dealt with and pushed away. We're afraid that to get to us, because we are in her way, we are opposing her in our own morals, she would not hesitate to kill everyone in Shine Bright because it benefits her, and it is a slight to us.
Yorlin nods a little. These are valid points to bring up with the Assembly, but I think you should take some time to figure out what you all actually want for yourselves and for Direwood. These things very well may come up during the discussion, because we are not dealing while you're representing the Cloaked Rangers.
Oh, he gone again.
What?
There he is.
What the
Is your
fuck?
lights flicker?
No, that one's just, I think,
Oh, that was Blake?
Discord, yeah.
Yeah.
Because everything's working fine. That was just Discord.
Okay. But he says, while you represent the Cloaked Rangers, it is difficult to represent Direwood as a city. I think you should just take some time. Think about what exactly you're asking, how exactly you're going to ask it, and what you want. Now, I believe it is getting late, so I am going to retire for the night.
Alright, well,
I'm glad this
Um,
meeting didn't end with someone almost dying. I just kind of smile at him.
I can fix-
Yarlin
I'm just
gives a smile and Savaris chuckles a little bit. But Arjurik in the back, like he gives a real hearty. Okay. Will everybody be adjourning for the night to your area over here then?
I will ask Savaris about that privacy he said he could probably get me.
Yeah.
Good.
God. You ask Savaris, and he says, right, yeah, this way, and he brings you over to this door, which he will open, and opens up into what appears to be some sort of storage room.
I have my own bedroll.
Are you gonna sleep in there tonight?
I will head in there and kind of set up my own bedroll.
Okay. Savaris asks, are you gonna sleep in here tonight on your own?
You went complete robot for me.
I'm robot.
You just did. I think it's my Discord acting
Oh,
up.
okay. He says, are you gonna sleep here alone tonight?
Talking to
Whoa.
Barris has given me a lot to attempt to discuss with the glow.
Very well. Just know it is a storage room. I can't guarantee you won't be disturbed if you spend the night here.
I can't guarantee it won't bother me. It would bother me. I kind of smile.
All right. Well, good night then. And he closes the door behind him. Leads the rest of you, unless, I mean, you guys don't all have to go to sleep right now, but these ones are kind of settling down for the night.
Yeah, Six doesn't really. He's trying not to stir the pot here, so he
Okay.
will bed down as everybody does.
Sure.
He would do one thing. Is there anybody still sort of practicing with their spears over there?
As you guys have been sitting and eating for a couple of hours, actually, no. Probably not at this point.
Okay. Well, I stand up and I ask somebody that I potentially saw practicing earlier if it was okay if I give it a shot, and then I would attempt to like punch the dummy's head off in just one nice swing.
Sure. Okay. Well, they're actually like hanging out there after they're just kind of chatting. You go over and ask, and they shrug. One says, "Go for it." Make a. Actually, just roll the hit. Roll the hit. Let's see the damage.
Nat 20, nat 20, nat 20.
Should
Nat 1,
maybe
nat 1.
check your
nat-
Discord.
Oh.
Okay.
Ooh,
Yeah.
and I think I have an inspiration left. May I use that?
What a weird thing to use your DM inspiration on, but
I'm not gonna do it. Alright,
do it.
here is a punch. Okay.
A 12 and okay. So it's not hard to hit because it's a sitting target. So with 10 damage, you
Sure.
and it doesn't completely fall off, but you hear like fabric rip, and you expose it, and it like completely like it's like if it was someone's head, it just back. And both the guys with spears kind of look at you with wide eyes. One of them says, "Are you okay?"
Fine. Thank you. Perhaps your dummy was faulty. I'd walk off looking confused.
Okay.
No, go to a different dummy. Go. I'll try a different one.
Nah, I'm not
Just
gonna push
ignites
it.
as he punches it. Okay. So you'll bed down.
Your dummies are combustible. What's up with
I
that?
Cover your
Best-
hand in alcohol and light it on fire.
Bess is also bedding down. Alistair?
Oh, sorry. Hold on. My ears fucking itchy. Are there any tables or like desks per se?
Immediately there are tables. You guys were sitting at them. As far as desks, like in that room.
Yeah, I should have just asked desks, not
Oh.
tables specifically.
Um,
If there's no desks, a table will
benches.
do.
I'm literally. There's some kind of secluded. Actually, yeah, over here. There's a desk where I'm pinging.
Awesome. I'm gonna go.
On my ping, sir.
Well, first I'm going to sketch in my book this area.
Okay.
From here to there.
Sure, you can do that.
Sweet. So I'm gonna do that before I go to bed.
Okay, and then you'll be going to bed as well.
Yes.
Do
Excellent.
we know if the
Hi, Doran.
tunnels were
Like the web.
underneath here also? The Queen's tunnels?
You are
From seeing that map?
from seeing the map. Well, I can show it to you. That's what you have. You don't remember anyone
Today the
specifically saying.
16th.
What's that?
Still? Is it still the 16th or is it the 17th?
You are going to bed on the 17th. Tomorrow is the 18th in game.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thanks, Dad. That's even your real name. It's not.
Okay. In fact, if you wanna, here I'll give you that even.
What would you call that? The cellar of the Church of the Rock?
You could call it that, sure.
I'd actually take the sketch and then I'd also make a floor plan of the basement.
You can make a floor plan of what you've seen. Yeah.
Cool. Alright. And then sleepy time.
Yeah, but that's the map. That's your map of Direwood, and comparing it to the map you have, that you believe are routes of the New Republic tunnels underground. You can draw from that what you will.
Thank you.
Yeah. Then with that, as you all bed down for the night, Clara, I will get to your thing, next
Thank
time.
you.
But as you all bed down for the night, you fall asleep to whatever dreams or whatever takes you as it normally does. However, in the midst of your dreams, what have you, once again, they are taken over by a purple glow. And a voice, or rather many voices, which say...
He's gonna do the voice. He's gonna do the voice, guys.
way to spoil the moment. He's gonna do the voice. He's gonna do the voice. The many
No way I
voices
could have anticipated
accompanied by the purple glow say to you,
Prepare, my children. Prepare for my arrival. A question for me each, as you please. Soon enough. Prepare.
and then we will pick up on that note next time.